This is Student Biologist 101. So for today's video, we're gonna explore the osmosis through making naked eggs. So just keep on watching.
A few moments later.
The ingredients we're gonna use to this experiment are egg, vinegar, corn syrup, and food coloring. Lastly, the equipments we're gonna use are glass and an old spoon.
1 hour later.
The first step on our experiment is to take your egg and gently put it inside the glass. And then pour the vinegar over top of your egg. The vinegar is going to remove the shell of the egg and expose the membrane. The shelled egg will need to sit in the vinegar bath for 24 hours. As our egg bathed in the vinegar, the shell is slowly dissolved. The bubbles clinging to our egg will cause the egg to float, flip, and turn. After 24 hours, you will need to drain the vinegar and replace it with fresh vinegar. To continue the process of dissolving the egg shell, let the egg sit in the vinegar for another 24 hours. After that, the shell will be fully dissolved and the membrane will be fully exposed. Once this step is complete, pour out your vinegar into a sink, gently catch your egg, and give it a rinse. Once you have removed your egg from the vinegar, you'll notice it's grown in size compared to this raw egg. This is because water has flown from the vinegar into the egg through osmosis. But we're not done yet. The next step into our experiment is to put the naked egg inside the glass gently. Then, pour your corn syrup over top of it. Bend your old spoon and use it to gently submerge your egg into the syrup. The naked egg needs to sit in the corn syrup for between 24 and 48 hours. The spoon is used to forcibly submerge the naked egg under the surface of the syrup because the egg will naturally want to float. If the egg floats, the surface of the exposed membrane may harden, and it will also cause this stage of our experiment to go much slower. Once this stage is complete, pour out your corn syrup using your hand and gently catch the egg. After that, give it a rinse. As you can see, after a couple of days of our corn syrup, our egg is shriveled and small compared to the previous step, would absorb a lot of water from the vinegar. But we're not done yet. The next step is to fill a glass of water, add a few drops of food coloring, and give it a good stir. Now that you have your water, gently put your shriveled egg into the glass of water and leave it for a few more days. The shriveled egg will need to bath in our colored water for 24 hours. The egg will begin to grow and expand as the water passes through the membrane and into our egg. After 24 hours, pour out your water into the sink and gently catch your egg. Let's look at this experiment a little closer. First, we need to look at why the shell of the egg is dissolved by the vinegar. Vinegar is made up of aqueous, or in other words, a water solution of acetic acid. And the eggshell is mostly made up of calcium carbonate. When we place our egg into the vinegar, the molecules in our gas cause a chemical reaction that produces carbon dioxide gas, water, and calcium acetate. Once the shell of our egg is removed and we have fully exposed the membrane under it, something really interesting happens. The water molecules in our vinegar begin to travel through the membrane of our egg and it begins to fill with water. The special thing about an egg's membrane is that it's semi-permeable. What this means is it will only let specific molecule pass through it. In this case, the molecules it lets through our water molecules. When we place our swollen egg into the corn syrup, the opposite effect happens. the water travels through the membrane and into the corn syrup. This movement of water occurs because there is an imbalance in molecules. The corn syrup has very few water molecules but lots of sugar molecules. The egg has lots of water molecules and only a few sugar, proteins, and electrolytes. All the molecules want to be in equal proportion on either side of the membrane. But remember, only water is capable of moving through the membrane. So instead, the water moves from where there's a low amount of other molecules to where there's lots. This means that the water leaves the eggs and goes into the syrup. As the water molecules leave our egg, it shrivels and shrinks. When we place our shriveled egg into the colored water, there's lots of water molecules but nothing else outside our egg. Inside the egg, there is almost no water molecules and very few proteins electrolytes. So once again, the water moves through the membrane to the inside of the egg, making the proportions of water to other molecules equal, which in this case causes the egg to swell, the process of water traveling back and forth through our membrane to create our different stages of egg, which is known as osmosis.